Welcome to the FileAID MVS Online Comparing JCL module. Here you will be taken through a scenario based on a business case need to compare JCL files. As we proceed, understand that every detail and option of every screen will not be covered. When more detail is needed, several options are available. First of all, the FileAID MVS User's Guide and Online Reference Manual are available for download on Frontline. Next, on the FileAID Primary Option menu, access to the tutorial is provided. Finally, on any screen within FileAID, pressing F1 will take you to the corresponding area within the tutorial. In this example, we are on the Compare JCL Criteria screen. Pressing F1 for help displays the Compare JCL Criteria tutorial screen. Here is the scenario. A production job failed following what should have been a routine JCL update. It appears that the JCL changes were not documented. The task is to identify the JCL changes. This additional information is available. More than one job may have been changed. The JCL is all in the same PDS. A backup file with the original JCL is available. From the FileAID Primary Option menu, we choose Option 10 for the Compare utility. Next, we must specify the old data set. In most cases, this will be the backup. The dataset name is entered. Here we want to compare all members of the PDS, so we use an asterisk in place of a member name. If the member name is left blank, a standard FileAID PDS processing options screen will appear. Standard selection criteria, though available, are commonly not used for JCL compares. Next, we must specify the new data set. This will typically contain the questionable JCL. The dataset name is entered. On the Execution Options screen, we choose to run this compare as a batch job. We will look at running online a bit later. Compare criteria may be saved and reused similar to selection criteria. Here we have none. The Compare JCL criteria screen requires user input about how the files are to be compared. A line compare is record by record, while a keyword compare focuses on JCL logical statements. Choosing Modify Print Defaults allows for tailoring the compare report. Default values are those last used for a JCL compare. Here we see the first of two print options screens. The basic question answered here is, which reports do you want? The exception to that is report style choice, standard, which is up and down, or across, which is side by side. Here we choose standard, but we will see examples of across later. On the second print options screen, we choose what we would like to see on the detail report. Keep in mind that there are no right or wrong parameters here. The many choices available allow for tailoring a report to suit your needs. Here we have chosen to print only changed lines. Another significant option chosen is to underline changes, which may be difficult to find, especially in long job streams. With the criteria build complete, the compare is ready to run. We press Enter to create the batch JCL. On the JCL specification screen, we enter the JCL command to edit the generated JCL. Here we have modified the syslist.dd statement to write the report to a specific dataset. Batch processing for this example was chosen near the beginning on the execution options screen shown here. If online processing had been chosen instead, all of the subsequent screens would be the same up to the Criteria Build Complete screen, where the first option would be Enter to execute. The report would display directly on the screen in a browse session along with the Compare Completed message. Note that the report is contained in a temporary file. Upon ending this browse session, you would have the option to print the report. Choosing Yes displays the standard FileAID print parameters screen. This JCL compare has been run 4 times using different reporting options. We will briefly examine portions of the detail reports. The complete reports may be downloaded. Begin by clicking on the Attachments tab. Here in Exhibit 1, lines were compared, only changes were printed, and standard format was requested. We see 2 lines delimiting a change block. The old and new lines are labeled to the left. The changed line shows text added to the proc statement in the underlined area. For Exhibit 2, keywords were compared, only changes were printed, and standard format was requested. Reordered keyword values, though not changing the JCL intent, are identified. Changed keyword values are underlined. For Exhibit 3, lines were compared, only changes were printed, and the across format was requested. Here we look to the center for the status as it applies to the lines to the right and to the left. Changes are underlined. For Exhibit 4, keywords were compared, only changes were printed, and the across format was requested. Again, we look to the center for reordered keywords. This concludes this module. Thank you.